So I was just thinking, I was like, I have no topics in mind. Like most of the time, I sit down at any given point of the day. I am like, I have something I feel I need to share. And then there's like this underlying point. Today, I had a blank. I was like, I need to shoot a video and I don't know what the fucking point is. Here's the point. If I had to redo it all again, these are the questions I asked myself. I was like, okay, press restart right here, right now on everything. And like, I'm back. I know nothing. I have no skill set. I just have like the pure drive and motivation and hunger to have something more in my life. I remember I was literally living in a house. We had two dogs. And I mean, fuck, like it took drive to get there. But there was a lot of turning points in my life where I was like, I looked around and I was just completely and utterly unsatisfied with where my life is at. And the one thing that if I had to restart today that I would do, and it's something that I actually did. And so this is why I recommend doing this because, you know, a lot of you have heard about the butterfly effect, and it's true. Like, if you change anything, you're going to change your whole life. And so I wouldn't really change anything, but I would underline something that I did along the way that really made me just love my life even more. And this is going to sound so cliche, but let me just explain it to you. So, while I am going about my day working, I would make sure that I'm always like fed. I would always make sure that like my health is a priority, so I would hit the gym. I would make sure that my meals were on point. I would be taking care and tracking my macros. I would be I have like this crazy graph chart thing that I track like every metric of my life in my opinion that matters to me. And I track my stuff every single day. So I have a graph on me and how I'm doing in every area of my life. And it's not just about making sure that you're like comfortable in the process because that doesn't exist, but making sure that you're taking as many forward steps as you can and also being present in the moment with gratitude and joy and taking action. And I think that it's so hard to say because like if I had to sum it up in one phrase it would be enjoy the process. But I think that that's like fucking stupid because you hear it everywhere. And for me the moment that I start hearing something everywhere or I see everyone doing something is the moment that like alarms and red flags start going off in my mind and I'm like I don't want to be like everyone else and I don't want to do what everyone says to do. And so the moment that I see a lot of people subscribing to this one belief or this one thing, I'm like, I don't know if that's for me because I just don't want to be like those people. I don't want to be like ass crack out wearing pajama bottoms with my Uggs like you know when they flip out to the side because they're like walking on the sides of their shoes with those like salt stains going on. You know, to me, like this is what I picture as an average person. And then they show up to the cash and then they're like calculating, like worrying, actively worrying how much it's gonna cost for their Walmart shit. And then they like negotiate down what they want or need because they can't afford it. Like for me, this is like the feeling. Like I hope that you're getting like a nails on chalkboard feeling right now because that is how average people make me feel. And so whenever I see like this saying that a lot of people say and is widely accepted, I'm like it's probably wrong. But for me, like I feel my spiritual development started before like my physical development because they always say like you get rich in your head before it happens, but they don't actually explain what get rich in your head means. Like, I think a lot of people think that you imagine like money all day long or something, but really what it is you see the richness in the moment. You see the gratitude in the moment. You see the excitement in being here. You see the excitement in doing what you're doing. You see happiness in being present in what you're doing. You set yourself up in situations with people that make you enjoy what you're doing day to day. And so you're not off in this distant land of being lost in your head when you're actually supposed to be doing something and doing something like kind of haphazardly and not present because you're thinking about something else actually in your head. And your happiness is this distant thing that's like more of a concept than a feeling, of the fact that you believe out here somewheres in this imaginary thing that you've made up. I used to have people like this in my life. Like, they were like, oh, when I get like this picture perfect thing in my life, I'm gonna have this kind of house, I'm gonna have these type of kids, and I'm gonna have this and this in the driveway, and then this is when I'm gonna be happy. And I feel like the biggest benefit for me was that I realized um I was super fucking poor. I realized not only was I super fucking poor, but I had creditors calling me. I realized that all I really had was this moment that I was in. And I realized that to serve God is to take action. And I realized that happiness can only be found under your feet. And also gratitude and love is action, like the most high vibration things. Like, when you think of vibration, you think of a frequency, and a frequency, like the lower and slower, and then higher and faster. But frequency means frequency, but it also means frequency, how many times you do something. And so the more things that you get done in the run of a day, inevitably it will raise your frequency. And so when I found out that and put those two things together in my mind, I had like a holy fucking shit moment. Because then I realized, like, if you look at the highly successful people, the people that are rich in terms of money, but also in terms of mindset and mentally, and a lot of people, I know that we can't just paint all of these people with one wide stroke of a brush, but a lot of times the people that are making a lot of money are happier than you because they're doing more things than you. And I believe that getting a lot of things done towards your goal and your mission and purpose, and those things being something that you can pull yourself fully into the moment and be present and be grateful in that action, put yourself into flow state. I truly believe that I'm a way happier person. Take everything away from me. Like, I've become a happier person now that I've gotten one level of rich than when I was super fucking poor, because my mindset was poor too, and I was doing nothing, and it was just a completely different person. And so for me, my one message to you guys, it would be like, figure out what the goal is, okay? Because without a goal, you're always going to be working with no aim, and working with no aim, you can't really achieve the things that I'm talking about right now. You're never going to be able to be fully present in the moment, because you're going to have this nagging feeling of thinking like, why am I doing this? Like, this has nothing to do with my calling or my purpose. And so a lot of people, what they don't see when I show up online is that I spend a lot of fucking time journaling before I like met any of you people. I shouldn't say meet, but like before you met me, or maybe we have met, but regardless, I mean, the things that you guys didn't see is that there's years of journaling and years of soul searching and years of asking myself the real questions that I needed the real answers to. Like, what is my mission here? What is my purpose here? If I could do anything, what would it be? Okay, all money aside, like, what would I want to do every single day, all day long? Where do I feel happiest? What kind of activities make me feel like I'm in flow state the most? What environments make me feel the happiest? What is an optimal life for me? What is my definition of success? What does winning look like for me? How do I win every single day? How does what I'm doing right now contribute to what I want to do later on? Does it contribute to what I'm doing later on? Are the steps that I'm taking right now even something I need to do to get where I'm going? Or are these steps just something that I'm putting in my own way and just lying to myself, either consciously or subconsciously, telling myself that this is part of it when it's not part of it, and I know it's not part of it, and I know I'm wasting my time, and that's what's causing me this inner, like, the same feeling of like a scratchy throat, but like in my soul. And so I sat down and I asked myself a lot of these fucking questions, and I got a lot of fucking answers. But I didn't just sit down and do it once. I was doing this over and over and over again. What's up, little dog? Are you having some issues in your little world over there? Anyways, And so I feel like you guys, you need to sit down and figure out what this is first for you. Like, what is the big overarching theme and thing that you want your life to be? Like, if your name represented one thing in this life, what would that one thing be? And if you could master one thing in this lifetime, what would that one thing be? If you could serve people in this way to give them the gift of what you've learned and what you've mastered and the things that you found out, like, what would that be for you? For me, it's personal development. I can't even talk sometimes. That's not true. So for me, it's personal development, it's mindset. It is like developing myself on every single facet. But also, what I saw was missing so hardcore in this space was like, there's a ton of men that are more than willing to sit you down and teach you how to be a man. But there are not a lot of women in the space. I haven't found one of them, actually, that is willing to sit you down and teach you how to step into your divine feminine energy. 1. 2, how to become the type of woman that has an amazing mindset. How to attract your soulmate, because I know that, like, yes, girl, you can do it alone, and I will teach you how to do it alone, but I will also teach you how to get to a point of manifesting the person in your life that will make it so that you don't have to do it alone, because it's painful and it's not supposed to happen. And, like, yes, I'm not saying that it's impossible, but I'm just saying, girl, you are supposed to have a man that takes care of you and treats you like a fucking princess, even when you're moody, even when you're showing up like a wreck. And I'm not giving you permission to do that, by the way. You still need to do the personal development work. You still need to keep your emotions in check. But on every facet, it's my goal to help you in this way and connect up to creator, because this is so important to stepping into your divine feminine. For me, I had so many limiting beliefs, and even just stepping into the beautiful relationship that I have right now, I see that I get triggered in some ways, and I'm like, this is something that I need to work on. And I acknowledge that, and I understand that it's still going to bring things up. But in my mind, when I was looking for a mentor that would, like, really truly speak to my soul, there was no one out there that I found that covered all of the things I believe you guys need. I should say you ladies, I shouldn't say you guys, but that covers it, like, full scope. Because I look at Elena Cardone and I'm like, wow, she built the businesses and she'll teach you how to build a business, but she doesn't teach you, like, connection with creator and how to step into your divine feminine energy. And then I look at, like, Natasha, I can't pronounce her last name. It starts with a G. She's, like, gorgeous. She's, like, connected with the celebrities, and it seems like it's her brand, you know what I mean? Like, she built that, and that is incredible. And she's going to teach you how to script, and she's going to teach you, all of the beautiful tools that I learned from her about scripting. And I feel like that helps you tap into your feminine energy, but it wasn't the tools that I needed on my journey. And so my goal is to give you guys everything that I needed on my journey, because I think that I'm one of those people where I'm like, if I don't have fucking, like, a manual this tall with, like, a glossary or, like, an index that tells me, like, how to do everything, then sometimes I just feel like I'm lost. And yeah, I need to edit that out. I think I'm just gonna leave it there. But yeah, I feel like I'm lost if I don't have every fucking detail. And when you learn how to connect up to creator, then you actually find more information than you ever thought that you needed. And it's just so simple. But for me, it's on every facet. Like, how do you master the money? How do you master being alone? How do you master being in a relationship and not being alone anymore? How do you figure out how to stop mastering the money and get someone else to take care of that? How do you build that trust? How do you take care of the limiting beliefs that you have for all of these things? Like, how do you carry yourself as a woman that you see as higher value? What does that even look like for you? And so all of these things we're going to dive into, and I am so excited. So excited. See you later.